Candidates in Parry Sound Muskoka had another opportunity today to reach out to potential future voters with a meet and greet at Huntsville High School. Tom Young, Chrystia Cowie, Scott Aitchison, and Gord Miller all set up booths and chatted with students about their platforms. The event was set up by students as well, who are helping organize a student vote, an opportunity for these kids to experience what the real thing will be like in the near future. Student organizer Aria Platts-Boyle says the hope is to build understanding and voter confidence in her fellow students.
Having leaders listening to us now gives us more of an opinion later on, because a leader hearing us now needs to know that we're still people and we're still active, and kids, there's a huge percentage of people who aren't going to vote. So if they know they're involved in politics and their voice is worth listening to, it will give them a much greater chance of voting later on.
Political sciences teacher Anthony Asturi says this event was also a way for students to get more involved in the election process and really learn the inside and out of voting.
So my grade 12 politics class is coordinating the student vote here at Huntsville High School. They were the ones that reached out to the candidates, invited them here to have a discussion with students. They're also then going to promote student vote over the next week. Our voting is going to take place next Thursday. So they will run the vote, they'll create the voters list, they'll run the voting day, they'll count the ballots, they'll send all the information back to Student Vote Canada, and those results will be secret until Election Day, and they're going to be revealed at the same time as the national election results will be revealed. So they've done lots of that. Also, some of them, one of their assignments this year, they got to kind of pick what they wanted to do, so they could attend the local debate and watch the leaders debate, and another assignment was that they could volunteer for a candidate of their choice, put in 20 hours, and see what it's like to work on a campaign.
And this wasn't the only political opportunity his students had as they traveled across the road later in the afternoon to see Liberal Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland. Freeland stopped by the Active Living Center for a quick visit with Chrystia Cowie and her Liberal supporters in the Parry Sound Muskoka riding. She briefly spoke to Liberal supporters about her time negotiating the new NAFTA deal. She also made note of her reason for the visit so far from her Toronto riding.
And it's going to be based on the ridings that have been working the hardest and doing the best job, and where we think we can win.
This follows a visit from Trudeau outside the Stocky Centre in Parry Sound a few weeks ago during his tour of Northern Ontario.
The Liberal Party is paying attention to the rural perspective. That's, they're here to listen to us, and they're here to tell us what's in the platform for people in Parry Sound Muskoka, and it speaks volumes. People are noticing the attention that we're getting.
Your TV also recently took to the streets to find out what you think these candidates should be talking about.
It's all sound bites that they've all been creating right now. It's like a little bit more in-depth something. They keep talking about their plans and their platforms and whatever, and it's all sort of half-released, but I think we all need some more details.
The senior citizens like myself, costs, food costs, housing, everything's going up. Pensions are not, none of the Canada pension or anything like that is moved up. No. And any type of, follow-up that for the costs of living.
Yeah, I'd just like to see something about the homelessness and housing. That's one of my main issues.
Why is that?
Being on fixed income, and it's tough for a lot of people that have to hit food banks and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And it shouldn't be, and maybe some taxes like this carbon tax and tax on tax. It's ridiculous.
I'm old enough to be a grandmother, and I want an earth to pass on to the next generation. So, climate, education, healthcare, all the things that I've cherished as a Canadian.
For anyone still on the fence about your vote, you'll have an opportunity to hear more from these candidates with Your TV's in-studio debate coming up tomorrow night at 8 p.m.